U.S. intelligence has early evidence suggesting a bomb may have brought down that Russian plane that crashed in Egypt. The crash killing 224 people last weekend. And if it indeed was a bomb, there are questions about whether a terrorist group is responsible. The plane was heading to St. Petersburg, Russia, from Egypt when it crashed. Joining me now is Congressman Eric Swalwell of California, a member of the House Intelligence Committee. So, Congressman, just curious, breaking news this afternoon. I'm sure everybody down there is talking about this. What are you hearing?
Well, thank you for having me on, Steve. And I was just in Moscow about 3 weeks ago about Syria. And, you know, what we're hearing is our intelligence community right now, as we speak, are trying to get to the bottom of this. This tragedy has occurred in a very dangerous area of the world. And also it involves countries that have created what I call a vortex of propaganda. So the Egyptians are denying it was terrorism. The Russians are denying that it was a mechanical failure. And ISIS, without putting forward much evidence, are taking responsibility. And our intelligence community, their job is to get to the bottom and find that one version of the truth that exists.
You mentioned you were in Russia. I'm just curious. I mean, everybody's putting two and two together here, I think, just as there's all speculation based on this report, but everybody's looking at this and saying Russia gets militarily involved in Syria, and then a couple weeks later, this happens. If this turned out to be terrorism, if this turned out to be a bomb, do you think that would lead Russia at all to reconsider what it's been doing militarily?
The simplest explanation is often the correct one here, and we know Russia recently has increased its presence in Syria, and so the fact that ISIS may want to respond is not unlikely at all. Security in Egypt is not great at the airports. I was in Egypt last year and, you know, saw and heard firsthand that. But, you know, what Russia does next certainly could be to increase its presence going after ISIS. After all, they haven't really done much of that so far. They have been supporting the Assad dictatorship despite telling the world they're going after ISIS. But their presence there has largely been to fight Assad's opposition forces around Aleppo, Damascus, and other parts of the country.
Yeah, and how would that affect the U.S. and its goal of defeating ISIS if Russia ends up being more engaged, more involved? You're saying maybe stepping up the efforts against ISIS, but at the same time, as you're saying, they're trying to prop up Assad.
I went over to Russia to ask its leaders in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to work with us in Syria to make sure that we weren't engaging our planes with one another so that we could avoid a problem, and make sure that if they were genuine about wanting to go after ISIS, that we did so together. But so far, they have shown no willingness to want to work with us on that. They want to, prop up Assad and be complicit in the slaughtering that he's been doing of many innocent people. And so I think hopefully if this tragedy indeed was caused by ISIS, I see an opportunity here for the United States, Russia, and our coalition partners to rethink what's going on in Syria and try and remove Assad, have a restart, and try and get that country back up on its feet.
All right, Congressman Eric Swalwell, thank you for joining us.
Yep, thank you.